boys and girls, welcome to a very special Patreon exclusive of the Experience Hockey Talk, Serious Hockey Talk for Serious Hockey fans. And I am here at the Blackfin and Mary Pub in Vienna, Virginia for the Nova Cap viewing party here for the Capitals game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I am joined by Michael Marzzacco from Nova Cap and Captain Obvious. We got a Captain Obvious here. This is the greatest thing ever. Don't you agree, Michael?
Oh yeah, love having Captain Obvious here. A lot of Caps fans here. Should be a fun game and a fun night.
All right. You know, and talking about that, the Washington Capitals off a huge win against the Tampa Bay Lightning last night, 3-1 victory over them. The top team in the league at that too. Have no line changes. They had to keep it together with the exception of one thing. Brett Connolly out of the lineup with Tyler Grayo back.
It'll be interesting seeing Grayo back. Now, I know he left the game during last month they played Maple Leafs, and now he's coming back to play against the same Maple Leafs team. So I'm interested to see how he does on the third line.
Yeah. And not only that, one of the great stories right now is we put Nicholas Backstrom back together with Alex Ovechkin with Tom Wilson. Wilson, who was said that had to play, needed to get multi-point goals this season, multiple goals in the big double digits, whatever. We're botching things. We're live. It's all right. We need to get double digits goals. What a better way to do it than put them on a line with Nicholas Backstrom out there.
I completely agree. I wrote about how the Caps have turned the corner, or at least it's looking like it, with Ovechkin back on the line. And Tom Wilson, he's been playing really well of late, especially how he started the season with a 4-game suspension. And who better to be line mates with than Ovechkin and Backstrom? And the space that
the space that he creates for those two guys is really good for the group. He's going to the front of the net. He's creating chaos there, which is allowing more time and space for Alex Ovechkin and Nicholas Backstrom to make plays.
Shots for Tampa Bay. They're one of the top scoring teams in the league.
Well, that's why I'm here, is to make sure that those points are made.
But real quick, let's look at the Toronto Maple Leafs lineup. The first line is going to feature Zach Hyman with Austin Matthews,
And he was well protected by the likes of JB, who's been doing it for years.
James Leafs like with Tyler Bozak and Ryan Nylander, Matt Martin with Dominic Moore and Connor Brown. Then on defense, they have Morgan Reilly with Wronski, Jake Gardner with Gatson, and Andreas Gordon with Roman Polak, who is not with the team in the Capitals last year. He's trying to a little bit later on due to injuries to the team. And a surprising move, Curtis McElhinney is going to be in the net for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not for the Panthers, but yet again, the Toronto Maple Leafs are on the second. They're back to back.
It's good to see, both goalies getting reps for the back-to-back. And it was interesting to see how Grubauer was flipped to start the first game instead of the second game. And as a result, he actually got the win. And the Caps haven't done so well in the second half of back-to-back games. So hopefully things will be different tonight.
Now, real quick, what's your top three for the game against the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Top key is to score first and take the air out of the building. Toronto is a tough crowd and a hostile environment.
Has been known to be creating the pretty
My top key would be score more goals than the Toronto Maple
I like that word greasy, Joey.
That's very important. That's very, very important. But one thing that needs to be talked about, and I talked about it a lot on the show last year, I talked about it a lot during the playoffs, and I talked about it when we first played them. The Capitals have to be able to contain Toronto.
Connolly off to Toronto. Notice a little bubble. He goes through to the net.
And he can't win against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're a very young team, they have a very good back. Unlike Edmonton, who does have a very young team, but not a very back.
Devontae has been on the board 3 times already this fall.
The Caps have done well against Edmonton this year, and they lost the first lead to Toronto. And they were also off to a slow start in the playoffs last year because of Toronto's speed. But they were able to correct the mistakes until rally.
And then there's Alex Ovechkin, who's been a
Well, we got younger too on that end.
When we return on the
We got younger and faster on that end too, so we'll match up pretty well.
Now one doesn't have that.
Plus, everyone knows each other now, which is definitely
And they're getting used to each other as the year goes on too.
Besides scoring more goals than the Toronto Maple Leafs, what else do the Caps have to do?
Make sure that the pucks don't go in our net.
All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back after the break with first intermission with a very special interview as well.
Looking for sci-fi fun? Then come to the Hunt Valley Inn in Hunt Valley, Maryland for Farpoint from February 9th till 11th in 2018. Come see special guests like Matt Frewer, Timothy Zahn, Nana Visitor, and many more. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit farpointcon.com today.
Oh God, and I'm blinded by the lights. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Experience Hockey Talks Patreon exclusive here at the Nova Caps viewing party. Caps are up 2-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Started off a little rough though. Caps took a hooking penalty when Devontae Smith penalty was called at 7:03. But then at 12:43, Alex Ovechkin would score his first of the game and 16th of the season from Nicholas Backstrom at 12:43. Then at 19:05, Ron Hainsey would be called for delay of game for shooting the puck over the glass, which on that power play, and it only took about 8 seconds later, Alex Ovechkin would score his second of the game, his 17th of the season from TJ Oshie. At the end of the period, as I just skipped the page that has those notes on it, the Caps were up 2-0. Shots were 11-7 in favor of Toronto. Faceoffs were 11-7 in favor of Toronto. The Caps were 37% in that period. Hits were 12-6 in favor of the Caps, and on the power play, the Caps were 1-for-1. And the Toronto Maple Leafs were 0-for-1 in the period. And joining me now is Beckie from Nova Caps, who's also being blinded by the light that Dixon had to have on so badly. Beckie, you're one of the organizers for this event. You brought in the USA Warriors. How great of the turnout has this been for you so far?
It's been wonderful. It's also great to see the Caps winning at the end of the first period. But we're here tonight to cheer on the Caps, but to also bring awareness and raise money for the USA Warriors. The Warriors are two teams, a standing team and a sled team, made up of veterans that have been severely wounded when they've gone off to war. I really had a wonderful pleasure of sitting down one afternoon with Kevin Gatson, who's with us tonight. I shared his story with the Nova Caps readers, and he's joining us tonight, and I'd love for you guys to talk to him and learn a little bit more about him this evening.
All right, and with that, Beckie, thank you. I'll let you run away from the camera. And Kevin, sir, first off, thank you for coming in tonight. How has your experience been so far?
It's been great.
Great. Enjoying the game so far?
It's been a good game.
What have you got two for you?
He has two goals. I was a little surprised in the second. He's been mostly on the left side, face off that, grip one. He actually did one from like the sweet spot, the high slot. Kind of shocked.
Now, you're a part of USA Warriors. Why don't you tell the people, give a little history about yourself for the people?
Born and raised in Mississippi, and joined the military in 1997. And I was in the military for a little over 17 years. Deployed to Iraq twice, Afghanistan once. Got injured in Afghanistan, and that's how we ended up in this area of Walter Reed. After a year or so of recovery and therapy at Walter Reed, that's when I was introduced to hockey with the USA Warriors. So I got injured in 2010, been playing hockey with the Warriors since 2012. And it's been a great ride. Happy to see where it keeps going.
Now, what are some of your favorite moments so far being part of USA Warriors?
Favorite moments for me, probably the first time that we won the championship as far as in the league that we were in. And the second year in the league, second year of us really playing organized hockey together. And we went from a new team that finished fourth place to a team that won the overall league championship. So that was definitely a very happy moment.
Now, for you, USA Warriors, that was your introduction to hockey. How is the ride just being introduced and where you're at now in hockey? And what's it like for you?
It's amazing. Gloria was one of our organizers. Some of everything for our team we mentioned earlier. It's therapeutic in a sense. Basically with us, with hockey, it gives us something that a lot of us lost when it came to the battlefield. And what I mean by that is, on the battlefield, everything is a team. Everything is, if I go one way, my battle buddy knows to go the other way. If I do one thing, the other person to my left or right knows to do the same, based on what I did. Hockey gives us that back. So it's a different playing field, but it's the same concept. It's a team sport, and I know if I go in on a rush, I know my battle is cutting off the next person to make sure you can't hit the puck around. So it's like I said, it's different scenario, the same concept as on the battlefield as far as hockey.
I've been playing hockey for 25 years, and I've always joked with teammates, it's time to get ready for war. Because going out playing hockey, it is a war sometimes.
Yeah, B. I mean, like I said, it can definitely be a war. I mean, there's completely different aspects of it, but it can definitely be a war. And just like with any war, especially hockey, it gets dirty in the trenches, but that's where all the fun happens.
Oh, yeah. I'm one of those guys who gets in those dirty trenches in hockey. So, well, Kevin, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for your service. And keep enjoying the hockey, man. Hey, let's see if Obi gets the hat trick.
All right, you got two. We might as well get it.
All right. Well, with that, we'll be back with second intermission highlights and other stuff.
Washington, D.C.'s Comic-Con is back. Awesome Conway is returning to the Walter E. Washington Convention Center in Washington, D.C. from March 30th to April 1st, 2018. Come see the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy, including DC's own Dave Bautista, including many more special guests. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit awesome-con.com today.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Experience Hockey Talks Patreon exclusive special. And we are here at the Nova Caps viewing party watching the Capitals take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Which Dixon, real quick, show the monitor. Show all those easy. No military service. Get it back on me because I'm a pretty face right there. Now, first off, Dixon, aren't you glad that I spent $5 on a selfie stick? Maybe. Okay, good answer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Mike and Ron, two people here for the viewing party. And you've been a fan of the Caps since 1974.
Yeah.
Day one. Day one-ish. Bring a little wrestling talk into that. Now, real quick, going into the second period, the Caps are already up 2-0. In the 3 minutes, 55 seconds into the period, Patrick Marleau, the Maple Leafs, got called for interference. However, the Caps were not able to generate much on that power play, but at 11:01, Jacob Ronald scored his 7th of the season from TJ Oshie and Matt Niskanen. And then at 11:34, Matt Martin would be called for cross-checking, which also the Capitals did not score on that power play. At the end of the second period, it will be Washington 3, Toronto 0. The shots were 22-17 in favor of Toronto. Face-offs were 22-16 in favor of Toronto. Hits were 27-20 in favor of the Caps, which is kind of crazy that we're almost at 50 hits in this game. And I think every other game is probably like at 15-20. And then on the power play, the Caps were 1 for 3, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are 0 for 1. We'll start off with the game right now, and then we'll talk about Caps history. So far, what do you think of this game so far?
Great game. I think Obi is going to get the hat trick.
You definitely think Obi's going to get the hat trick?
No doubt in my mind.
So if he does, you're just going to run over to that table right next to us. Take some of our hats and just start throwing them around.
That's right.
All right.
Even Captain Obvious' hat. We've got to get his.
Yeah. Captain Obvious is hiding now that you said that. You made it too obvious. But what are your thoughts on this game? Like, what do you think the Capitals can improve in this game? In this game specifically. There's many things we can talk about what they need to improve in general, but let's talk about this game.
I don't think they shoot the puck enough. I think there's a little one too many passes sometimes instead of shooting the puck. That's what I think they.
Mike, what about you?
I don't know. It's tight. I think because they don't have their legs tonight after playing last night. Just keep doing what they're doing and shoot the puck more, like Pablo said.
All right. Now let's talk a little bit of Caps history because I love Caps history. Caps history is a wonderful one. You're day one, 1974 Washington Capitals. I became a fan when I was 2 years old, 88-89 season. So you got the years on me on that. What was it like for you during that season? The season than that, they still hold the record for least amount of wins by an expansion team. What was that season like?
I'll be honest with you. I had know nothing about hockey. My father-in-law, rest his soul, was watching it one Sunday, and I sit there watching the game with him. And the more I watched it, the more I got into it. And then after that, we started going to see some of the games. And then I was son, when he was in the 6th grade, taught me to go see the Flyers Caps game, and I got hooked. I was hooked ever since.
It's funny that you bring up Flyers Caps, because my father is a Flyers fan. Because my father is born and raised in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And the Flyers, when they came into the league, my dad was actually about like 9 or 10 years old when they came in the league. So my dad is not a lifetime Flyers fan. He is a Flyers lifetime fan because he's been there since they started. So it's kind of interesting that you brought that up. It's like,
Yeah, because my son, he likes the Caps, but he's sort of a Flyers. I hate to say this.
But I still find it interesting, like you've been with the Caps since they started, and they came in through expansion, the same thing with my father with the Flyers when they came in through expansion. So it's kind of interesting when you actually do meet other people who are like, oh yeah, well not in my case, I was born way after the fact. But we have the Vegas Golden Knights now. And, speaking of that, get off Caps a little bit. What do you guys think about Vegas and the fact that they have a team and how they're doing with that? What are your thoughts on that?
Pretty upset when they got rid of Sled.
Well, let's be honest, the Capitals didn't get rid of Sled. They just weren't able to keep it.
Right.
It's kind of a different, like don't you find it funny when it's free agency and somebody signs with another team and then people go, oh, I can't believe the Capitals traded him.
Don't get him started off.
Wait. They didn't trade him.
Expansion now, though, is a lot easier than the days of the Caps back in those days because the players that they got weren't developed like they are now. So the players now coming straight out of college, they are a whole lot better than the guys they had back in the late 70s.
Yeah, and if you look at it right now, the only thing that's killing Vegas right now is goaltending because of all their injuries.
Right.
If all their goalies stayed healthy, they probably would have won some games if they lost.
Oh yeah, they've been in most of their games, so unlike the Caps back in the day. Oh my.
So, what about little Caps history from you, Mike? How did you get into the Caps?
When I started dating his daughter, I wound up marrying her, but first
He didn't come chasing with you with a hockey stick or anything?
In the 85 was my first hockey game, and I just went, but I got hooked. If you go to a game, you really do get hooked. And I always tell the story. My favorite thing was going was he used to get some real good seats from car dealerships and some police officer friends that he had. We used to sit where all the players' wives, the scratch players used to sit. And I'll never forget, we were sitting in a row, and Dale Hunter's wife, I call him Little Dale, I don't know his name, a spitting image, but that little guy was up and down the aisle, over the seat, that poor woman was trying to corral him. That was funny. I mean,
Because like that moment right there wasn't the product on the ice. It was just a little
he
kid.
had the shirt on with Hunter too, and his dad pretty look. I mean, you can tell he was fun. Just full of energy, just like his dad, all over the place.
A little Spitfire.
Oh yeah. We used to get some really, really good seats. When they're free, you got to take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, I remember what was it? Giant Food. Now that they're back as a sponsor of the Washington Capitals, back in the 80s and 90s, you could get tickets just by buying light bulbs. Buy a pack of light bulbs. Here's some tickets for the game. So I ended up going to like Cat Flyers, the Sabres. I actually had the distinction of going to games from the Ottawa Senators, Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Anaheim Mighty Ducks, San Jose Sharks. And those five teams all came in the league via expansion. I got to go to all their games in their first year in the league. We're hoping to do that with Vegas this season. And I actually got to go to Atlanta's last game in DC before they turned to Winnipeg. And then I got to do Winnipeg's first game doing for Atlanta. So, like, that type of stuff is always awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, you look at that, you look at, like, we're witnessing history.
Well, you're part of history.
Yeah. So it's always a good thing. So getting back to tonight's game, gentlemen, real quick, what do you hope to see tonight in tonight's game besides victory?
Everybody stay healthy. Hat-trick, Kobe, and shutout.
Right? Now that you both have just said this.
I know. Michael gets mad. He says, don't say that. Don't say that. Hey, just keep playing like they are. It's tough grinding games.
Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to have you on. Enjoy the rest of the game. You'll heckle me from the other table. And with that, we'll be back with post-game coverage.
Attention hockey fans, the Experience Hockey Talk is on Patreon. Come join the exclusive TXHT community today for access to exclusive episodes, interviews, and so much more. You can join the TXHT Patreon community at patreon.com/TXHT_hockey.
Oh, geez, and I saw the light once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
That would have been a nice warning, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Experience Hockey Talk, Serious Hockey Talk for serious hockey fans. Patreon exclusive here from the Nova Caps viewing party here at the Blackfin American Pub in Vienna, Virginia. The Capitals have won 4-2. I am joined by the MC of tonight's event, Jarrod Wronski.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I said it right there.
Got the name right.
Hey, that means
that's my job to get the name right. You did it perfectly.
Yay! All right. That means I can add it on Facebook, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Fantastic. You know, we're going to hop right back to the beginning of the game real quick, hop to the first period, then move our way down. Feel free to chime in on notes as we get through this, Jarrod. In the first period, and I'm using my hat to shield my eyes from the blindness of the light. You know, first off, DeMonte Smith-Pelly takes a 2-minute niner for hooking at 7:03 into the game. Caps were able to kill it off, but at 12:43, Alex Ovechkin will score his first of the game, 16th of the season, assisted by Nicholas Backstrom, which was his 15th of the season at 12:43. What was your thoughts on that goal?
It's good seeing them back together. You know, with the way the team's been playing, sometimes you need to split them up, sometimes you need to bring them back together, and I think it's given them that spark they need.
Yeah, and then not only that, but also I like the fact that Tom Wilson's on that line.
Yes.
I really love the fact that Tom Wilson's on that line.
Kind of goes old school, like back when Gretzky had Curry and McSorley. You know,
Yes.
Yeah, it gives you that physicality, gives you something that can, you know, someone can pass the puck.
And not only that, but also like Jari Kurri could score.
Yeah.
And Marty McSorley, when he was younger, kind of scored.
Yeah.
so I'll go with that. And then 1905, Ron Hainsey would be called for delay of game, which 8 seconds later, Alex Ovechkin would score the power play goal, his 17th of the season, second of the game, assisted by TJ Oshie, his 10th of the season. Your thoughts on that power play goal, which was really, really fast?
Oh, it was needed. It was definitely needed. They say that, you know, you score in the first minute or last minute of the period, you know, you've got control going into the intermission, and that's exactly what happened. The Caps used that to their advantage, took it to the next level. They're now up 2-0 going in. Toronto was just trying to kill it off, hopefully get out of the period, and that definitely made a statement going into the second period.
Exactly, and at the end of the first period, it was shots were 11-7 in favor of Toronto, 11-7 were the face-off advantage towards Toronto as well. Hits were 12-6 for Washington. Oh, go ahead, walk behind us. It's okay. Captain Obvious,
Captain
you're
Obvious
allowed.
is part of the show. Come on.
Yeah. But you know. And then Caps were 1 for 1 on the power play. Toronto was 0 for 1. So obviously that was a big benefactor for the Capitals, being 1 for 1 on the power play and also being 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. Then going into the second period, at 3:55, Patrick Marleau would be called for interference. Capitals did not capitalize on that power play, but at 11:01, Jacob Vrana would score his 7th of the season, assisted by TJ Oshie, his 11th, and Matt Niskanen, his 4th. Good to see Matt Niskanen back in the lineup. He's been in 4 or 5 games now,
so, yeah.
And now you can see he's getting his legs. And that's a key thing.
He's getting his legs back underneath him at a time when the Caps need that stability to come back. They've been, you've been watching the games lately. Sometimes they have a great game, then they come back. Captain Obvious has seen it all season long. They have a great game. Next game they don't come out so hot. That's been the whole back-to-back games. Be Holtby gets the win. Gruby would not be the benefactor of it. Well, the Caps flipped it up this week and added Niskanen back in there, and that's helping out all across the board.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then of course Matt Martin would get called for cross-check in 11:34. Caps did not capitalize on that power play either. At the end of the second, shots were 22-17 in favor of Toronto. Face-offs were 22-16 in favor of Toronto. Hits were 27-20 in favor of the Caps. There were almost 50 hits after 2 periods. Holy cow. And on the power play, Caps were 1 for 3, and the Toronto Maple Leafs were 0 for 1. And then going into the third period, not to start the Caps, 1 in a minute 23 in, Jake Gardiner would score his second of the season, assisted by Austin Matthews, his 11th of the season. Then at 6:09, Nikita Zaitsev would score his third of the season, assisted by
William, his son, Will.
Well, his son, William.
Who used to play hockey around here.
Yeah, William Nylander and Dominic Moore, their 12th and 4th of the season, respectively. But then, of course, Ron, who was on in the last intermission, almost stole my hat because at 19:51, Alex Ovechkin would score the empty net goal, his 18th of the season, and then setting the franchise record, 20th hat trick of his career, assisted by TJ Oshie and Nicholas Backstrom, the 12th and 16th of the season, respectively. Oshie had 3 assists, Backstrom had 2, Ovi had 3 goals. There you go.
That top line coming through, Oshie getting on the board, Oshie being consistent, moving the puck around, Backstrom getting how great is it when you can have a goal scorer like Ovechkin, a guy, and then 2 guys that can score and get the assist and move the puck around, that are out there on the ice at the same time. It's extremely dangerous. And then you have guys like Jacob Bronner getting his goal tonight, playing in Hershey a year ago. He's come up and he's started to establish himself. And that, the Caps looks like they're finally hitting their stride, which is good to see.
All right, and then of course at the end of the game, the Washington Capitals would win 4-2. Shots were 29-21 in favor of Toronto. Face-offs were 34-25 in favor of Toronto. Hits were 37-26 in favor of the Capitals, and on the power play, no changes. Caps were 1 for 3, and the Maple Leafs were 0 for 1. So good for the Capitals. They got the 1 power play goal, which was pivotal, but then they also were able to stay out of the penalty box and kill that 1 penalty, which would not allow Toronto to get any momentum. And I just have to say, good job by Dixon here, holding the camera, signing the check at the same time too.
And he's leaving a fairly generous tip too.
Oh, we generally are very generous tips. We generally are. But yet again, he also But yet again, at the same time, he drank a lot of booze, and I have to drive him home. So
yeah, that's water. We have checked it. That is definitely water in there.
I am driving. But so that's really pivotal right there. The fact that 1 penalty. Especially the fact that this is a 3rd game in 4 nights, and yet again, another back-to-back for these Washington Capitals. They were able to pull out the win this time in the 2nd game of the back-to-back, which they hadn't been able to do all season.
Yeah, and a lot of it's been, general managers will tell you they don't want to go on the road and play tired. They don't want to, and they call it road tired. They would rather be home, have a chance to sleep in their own bed, get ready to go. Toronto has been on the road. They're coming home. They essentially played 1 game, and now they're heading out. I think Calgary is their next game. They're heading out to Western Canada. So they've got that stuck in their minds. They wanted to come into this game and play well, and the Caps just put it to them early. They're like, you know what? We haven't been playing well in the back-to-back. Let's go out there. Let's push it out. Let's go right after them. And that's what they did. And it was against a team that kind of surprised them in the playoffs last year, and has been a pleasant surprise for the NHL for the 2nd year in a row. I mean, Toronto's not that doormat team anymore.
Yeah, and one thing I said at the very beginning is a key thing for the Capitals is they have to contain the speed of Toronto, which was a major problem that they had last year. And one game that rings in my ears all the time is after the Caps got drunk by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Alan May said, throw away the tape, it's useless. No, you keep that tape, you use it, because you're going to have to be playing this team more and more times. Lo and behold, we faced them in the playoffs. Lo and behold, we have them in an outdoor game now, and we'll probably be seeing this team in the playoffs a lot more times now. So watching those tapes of how fast that team can play. that's very critical. That's very important for not just the Capitals, but any team in the National Hockey League.
Oh yeah, and adding guys like Vrana and Stevenson who can move up and down the ice. That's the way you're going to combat that. I mean, every year the Caps will try to how do we combat Pittsburgh? And they did a great job of that last year, getting the right pieces. They just couldn't put it together, but they might have also been worn down from that first series. Now they know, okay, we need speed, we need this combination, and they've been doing a really good job of putting it together, and it's been fun to watch.
Now, I've been saying this on the radio show since the summer when we lost Schmidt and Shattenkirk and a bunch of other players in the offseason. This is the season I'm excited for because they have to face the adversity now and throughout the entirety of the season.
Yes.
Which is something that they've not had to do truly under Alex Ovechkin, especially if you look at the last 7 years. They've kind of just been able to coast their way into the playoffs, essentially, winning division titles left and right, winning the conference, winning the regular season trophy every year, or at least 3 times. So seeing them have to face this adversity now, and the fact that they're not going to be a top seed in their conference or in their division, what are your thoughts on that? And how does that make you feel about the Capitals moving forward, knowing that they have to face it now, and how much of a better team it can hopefully make them going into the playoffs instead of having to face the adversity going into the playoffs rather than throughout the entire season and getting your calluses put in place?
Honestly, it excites me because when you look back at pretty much every Stanley Cup winner going back to the 90s, at some point during the season, they face some sort of adversity. Hate to say it, Penguins last year, they didn't start out so well. They turned it around. 2 years ago, same thing, didn't start out so well. Crosby's first. And it was the same thing, Crosby's first year. Didn't start out so well, Wildsma comes in, turns it around. 2 years ago, same thing with Sullivan. Came in mid-season, turned it around. Last year, they had that hiccup. A lot of times you've got to find the team and bring them together and find something that's going to bring them together. You need adversity. If you coast in, you're think about it. You're driving 100 miles an hour, you just take your foot off the gas, you're going to keep going for a while, but at some point you're going to stop.
Yeah.
If you keep your foot on the gas and you're going 80 miles an hour the whole time through, next thing you know, you're passing that team that just won 100 miles past you earlier in the season, and you're setting yourself up to be in the right spot at the right time.
Especially going into the playoffs.
Exactly.
Because you saw a Caps team that really hasn't gone through that many injury problems. I mean, last season we lost out on Orpik and Carlson for a little bit, but even when they lost those 2 players, they're still able to coast through the season. This season now, right off the bat, Burakovsky's out due to the hand injury. Niskanen's been out due to they say upper body. It was a hand injury or a wrist injury. I hate how they do that upper body, lower body crap. Just say what the injury is. Connolly was out with a suspected concussion. No, he was out with a concussion. Tyler Grayovac was out with a shoulder injury. Christian Hughes is now out with an injury. So it's the Capitals have been hit with this injury bug early on, which is helping them get through that adversity and helping them learn to fight through adversity at the same time.
Oh yeah, and they're also getting help from Hershey. Liam O'Brien came up for a couple of games. Nathan Walker, he's contributing. Started the year contributing by scoring off his rear end.
I'm liking Devontae Smith-Pelly.
And Devontae's just come in, and he was. Every year the Capitals seem to find that one player. Joel Ward was that one player a few years ago, where he'll do whatever it takes. He'll be a spark some nights. Some nights he'll just be a supporting player. And right now that's the role that Smith-Pelly is taking, and he's running with it. I don't think he's done that since his first couple of years in Anaheim.
Or when he was with New Jersey for a little bit, or Montreal. And I think that it comes down to when you look at a guy like Lars Eller. Lars Eller was a guy who wasn't given a chance in St. Louis, traded to Montreal, wasn't given a defined role, comes to Washington, here's your defined role, and now he's flourishing. Brett Connolly last season, although I personally wanted to re-sign him because he disappeared in the playoffs and he wasn't reliable, that's a big factor to me personally. What are you doing for me in the playoffs? Because you got to provide. He embraced the role of the third liner. You could see that with Devontae. Hey, stop coughing there, Dixon. You could see that with Devontae Smith-Pelly. He came into Washington and he was told, this is your role, and he probably went, thank you, because that's what I need. And that, and that helps. knowing that, hey, I have a defined role. I know what my role is to be on the team, and that, if I do a little extra, cool. Hey, Devontae Smith-Pelly, he may score like 10, 12 goals this season. But you know what? If he gets 15, that's a bonus right there.
Yeah. And you also have somebody that's going to be out on the ice that's going to contribute. It's not always about goals and assists. Sometimes it's being in the right place at the right time, block a shot, even poke a puck away.
Yeah.
I mean, take away a scoring opportunity. And there's a lot of things. They try to get stats that you just can't track. How do you track? Put the stick out there, poke the puck away, it goes out of the zone. They have to regroup. That could have prevented a pretty good scoring opportunity.
And I'll be honest, I don't pay attention to the analytical stuff at all because I pay attention to what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
And seeing a guy do a poke check. There you go. That's all I need to see. I just need to see the guy do the poke check. And Captain Obvious is attacking our camera guy. Get Captain Obvious on the camera real quick.
I'll come in.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Obvious.
It's like we just both do the salute to the hat. It's like all three people did a salute. But how was the game, Captain Obvious?
Well, I liked it.
Really?
I'm usually not a captain prognosticator, but you were here early, and I said, well, we should win this game 4-2. Because they put the stats up for the goaltenders. The goals against
That's
were
right.
4.
This is the most obvious statement that he's made tonight. So in the pregame, when they're showing here's your goalies for tonight, they showed that McElhinney is like a 4 something goals against average, and Holtby's like a 2.05, and he goes, yeah, this will be a 4-2 game for the Caps. So
if only the games were always played on paper like that,
But they're not, and that's
they're usually played on ice.
Yeah, really. I did not know this. Ladies and gentlemen, the night is over.
I'm bowing out.
Thank you, Captain.
Thanks. Good seeing you. Thanks.
Thanks for coming. That was good. That was good.
That was good. Well, with that, closing words, Jarrod, thoughts on tonight's game, final thoughts.
It was a good game. They except for the first half of the third period, then they realized they had to bring it back, reel it back in. It was a great game all the way around. They put together more of these, and these are statement games against teams. They beat top team in the league last night. They come out against another one of the top teams tonight, and now the next 3 or 4 teams on the schedule are looking up and going,
Los Angeles.
Are they? Are we going to have to take them a little bit more seriously than they were?
Yeah, because, first off, we just found out that Brooks Light got sent down to Ontario, the American Hockey League tier. Hey, LA, call him up for the game against the Caps. Thank you. We just want Brooksy in the lineup for one game. Just let us have our Brooks. Let us have our Brooks.
Yeah, I remember the when he went to Toronto, and it was literally the next game that we played, and he was there. And at the time, I was running the video board, and getting to run the tribute for Brooks was quite a bit, and it was hard to find a dry eye in the house after that raid.
Yeah. Well, I actually, talk about irony. The whole Matt Duchene trade.
Yeah.
The very first game that he played with Ottawa was against Colorado.
And it's in a different country.
And it's in Stockholm, Sweden. So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jarrod, thank you so much for coming on, and also thank you to Ron and Mike. I wrote his name out. Sergeant Kevin Gatson, who is also the captain of the Sled team for the USA Warriors. Also, a massive thank you for Nova Caps for doing this viewing party.
John Sorensen rocks, by the way.
Right behind us, by the way. Huge thank you to Nova Caps. And for everyone who likes what the Experience Hockey Talk does, you listen to the show every Saturday at 11 a.m. Changes be coming. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. I can't announce them all just yet.
That's actually my job is to announce, but
Well, I do my own announcement. Listen, Jarrod. Listen. Shush. But if you like what we do, you love the content that I put out there with the Experience Hockey Talk, become a patron today. We're doing a lot of great things, including this is a Patreon exclusive episode, which I'm pretty sure Dixon wouldn't mind, and some of our other patrons wouldn't mind, but we are doing this episode for free. We're not doing it behind the paywall, because, bigger things, with this one. We had bigger things going on, so
But you know, you see these episodes, you get all these episodes with what you get with the Patreon membership through the TXHT community, and it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. And then hopefully also things like T-shirts and hats, hockey jerseys will happen.
And the merchandising begins.
With Dixon's like thumbs, I was like, I want that jersey so badly. Or the hat, because he has like 5 billion hats.
Yeah, he threw one of them during the hat trick right at the end of the game.
Yeah, he just threw the thumbs up on that one too. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is the Experience Hockey Talk, serious hockey talk for serious hockey fans from the Nova Caps viewing party for Caps Leafs, which saw the Capitals win 4-2 with an Alex Ovechkin hat trick. As always, you can go to TXHT Patreon page, which you're on right now anyways, unless you're watching on YouTube, which is patreon.com/TXHT_hockey. And also, don't forget that you can watch us on our Facebook page when we're on the radio at facebook.com/TXHT hockey. With that, I am Michael. I am signing out. I need a nap. Good night.